Okay, so this is Yes Nor Vito. I'm here with Emily at Buco. I wrote it down so I don't screw it up.
Yeah.
Buco Pizzeria and Vino Bar
Correct.
here in St. Albert.
Hmm.
Okay, and you guys have locations at Epcot Tower and Windermere as well.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely.
And I hear you manage multiple of them.
Yeah, I was helping out at the Epcot Tower location, kind of when they had all the Oilers games and all their big events. But now that that's kind of done, I'm back here full time.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Very
great.
cool. Very cool. I love Vino. Or I do love wine. But
Yes,
I love,
me too.
I love Buco. I would come here for some business meetings, lunches, that kind of thing. Very, very cool vibe, atmosphere. So very cool. But I won't talk too much about my experience. So who are you? And tell me about your experience at Vito, or at Buco.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I've been here for it's almost 4.5 years. I actually started as a server very, very briefly. I served for I think 2 weeks before I kind of the job fell into my lap, and I was so glad that it did because that was kind of the dream was to kind of have a restaurant of my own and everything. So it's been nothing short of a pleasure to be here and kind of make the relationships that I have and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been super, super great.
Awesome. That's very cool. So you've got a lot of experience here, and you were at Earl's before?
I was, yeah. I worked with your sister, so I was at Earl's managing. I think it was for 3 years before that. So yeah, that was a good setup for me here. I've kind of had both ends. I've had the corporate side, and then I've had the family owned. So I've gotten to experience both, and have to say the family owned has been really, really great. So
awesome. Okay, so you said family owned, so it's also Sorrentino's, right?
yes, so we are a part of the Sorrentino's restaurant group. So that has kind of been a pillar in the Edmonton area for over 40 years now. So this was the first Buco location. They opened, I think it's 7 years, coming up in August. So we were kind of the first one, and then I think maybe 4 years ago was when the Windermere and the Epcot Tower locations kind of came about.
Okay.
So it's been great to watch it expand as it has. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Now, what would you say is the difference between the two?
Good question. Sorrentino's is a little bit more on the fine dining side. I think that when they kind of started the Bucos and everything, they wanted to kind of have a little bit more of a casual fine dining atmosphere. And we're really lucky that a lot of the Sorrentino's regulars kind of have come here as well, and they get to experience both depending on their mood and everything like that. So it's it's definitely great. You see a lot of the Sorrentino's people who have been going there for years and years, and their kids start coming here too. So it's just a total community. So it's great.
Well, and that's one thing about I mean, I love Italian food, so
Yeah.
it's like people who like Italian
It's just
food love
comfort,
Italian.
right? I know my carb intake has gone up like tenfold since I started working here. It's nothing but pizza and pasta, but I convince myself I work it off by running around all day.
Around,
Yeah,
talking
that's how I
people.
justify it. I don't know if that's actually true, but that's what I
We'll
tell
count it.
myself. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so it's obviously very there's a lot of heart into it, and there's a family owned. So
Yeah.
what kind of makes you authentically Italian?
Yeah, I think we're really lucky that our head chef is from Italy. Our sous chef is from Italy, so you can definitely, I think, see that and taste that in the passion and the love that they put into all of the dishes, and whether it's creating menu items from our corporate chef Alberto to it trickling down into the actual restaurants and the people who work here day to day. I think that is just, when you taste it, you can feel it, and I think that that's something that's really cool and something I personally haven't seen in a restaurant that I've worked at before, and I think that's kind of what keeps people coming back as well. So
Okay, that's fair, and that's what makes it the best. It's very cool that you have like an actual Italian chef.
I know, yeah, not everyone is so blessed, but yeah, they're you definitely, they're passionate people.
And
in
so I
every
did.
way,
You said family owned as well. Go back to that. It's and I looked at some of the owners in the website and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So are they all Italian? Are they from here? Or
Yeah, so Carmelo Rego, he's the CEO. He and the founder, him and Maurizio Sacamano, they both started it 40 years ago, and it's been, they've. Carmelo was born in Italy, and so was his wife Stella. So they kind of started everything up, and then their 4 boys were all born here, and they've just kind of taken on a little bit more. We've got Antonio, who is the operations manager for all of the Buco locations, and all of the brothers are involved in in some way or another.
So it's second generation now.
Exactly. So that was another cool thing about Buco is that kind of they got to take that over as well and really get to experience that. So it's been great.
Very cool. Okay, well, so you are Edmontonian. You're all local, right? You haven't expanded past Edmonton.
Correct.
So what beyond that makes you Edmontonian?
I think kind of circling back to the fact that Sorrentino's has just been, just such a staple in the Edmonton community for so many years, and now the Buco branch kind of being able to also be a part of that in a little bit of a different way, and just there's people who have been coming here for all 40 years, so it's that's what I think makes us Edmontonian.
Very cool, very cool. Okay, so a little bit more about you. What's your favorite menu item? Just super simple.
That's a tough question.
No, maybe not so simple, right?
Yeah, I wish I could pick one from like each area. I wish I could tell you my favorite pasta, pizza, everything, because I do have one for all of it. But I think margarita pizza. If I had to pick one, it's just classic and you just can't go wrong.
I thought you were gonna stop at margarita.
Yeah, well, those two. I do like those two. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, and then every restaurant, like I know you can go to McDonald's and get like a cheeseburger, like a Mac. Like there's menu hacks. So what's your favorite menu hack? Like your secret thing?
I try not to mess with what they've got too much. I think that they do.
You don't want to disrespect the chef or anything.
Exactly. God forbid. So I do try and kind of stick with it, but garlic aioli and get it on the side of the pizza. That I think would have to be my favorite.
Just a nice little sauce on the side.
I'm all about the sauce. So
the sauce boss. Okay. And then obviously you love Buco and the Italian. What's your favorite restaurant outside of Buco?
Another very good question. I really like Bodega by Sabor, just over in St. Albert as well. That's one of my favorites. They have mushroom risotto. Mushroom risotto is my favorite food on the entire planet.
Okay.
So I would eat there 7 days a week if I could. I'm lucky that some of the Italian chefs, they know how to make it too. So if I ask super nicely, then they do make it for me. But I'd have to say, I think that,
have you been pushing to get it on the menu?
Always, but that's okay. I think it's on Sorrentino's menus actually, so I should even try harder to get it over here. But yeah.
Okay. And now, if somebody's looking for something specific, what is Buco the best at? Like, if somebody is looking for that one thing, whether it's great wine selection or the best appetizers, or what do you say? But you can humble brag here right now.
As much as I think our menu items and everything like that are so great and keep people coming back. I think another thing that we're really, really good at is just my servers are awesome at creating really genuine guest connections. And I think that we're super lucky to have such a loyal client base who keep coming back for more. And I think that the food coupled with a lot of the long-time servers that I've had here, because so many of them have been here since it opened, or 5+ years, so they all really know everybody who comes in, and we just kind of created that family-orientated experience that I think has been really great, and it's great to watch that, and I feel really lucky to be a part of something so awesome.
Honestly, that's probably one of the most important parts, I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I thank God every day because they make my life so easy.
Yeah.
Like, I've got the best job ever because they make it, the best. So
I did some management back in the day, and it was just not. It was not for me.
I've had not to Earls, but so to have here, I've seen both ways, and I just don't take it for granted whatsoever. They make my life easy for sure.
Awesome. And then so obviously we went through 2 years of tough times in the restaurant industry, and then everybody kind of was ordering at home, and then but now obviously people are coming back out, and are people excited to be back out? That's
I have never seen anything like it. I think those first couple months, there's still it was a slow build up because you had a lot of people who still weren't comfortable, and our takeout business is still just so much more than what it was pre-COVID. But I think that people are so happy to just be sitting in a restaurant, having, good service, good food, and just being able to be with friends and family in a setting that isn't, so blocked off from the rest of the world. Absolutely. So I've definitely noticed. I think last summer was kind of when it started, and now this summer it's just craziness.
It's so good to see.
We keep getting busier, so it's great. Yeah.
That's good. Cool. Okay, and then last question, what is and this can be about anything, like you mentioned the servers, the food already,
Yeah.
all that, but what's one thing people should know about Buco that probably a lot of people don't know, and just just one little fun fact or anything that you would like people to know?
I think that I would like people to know that it's a good one. I don't know.
This is a tough question.
I'll have to think about that
We've touched a lot of the topic.
That's
You can
true.
repeat.
I know. That's
You
what I
can
feel like
repeat.
I have to do. Yeah, I think that it's just to have such a great restaurant that has been through so much, and they've really just built it from the ground up. And to have an owner who is so in the community, knows everyone, everything like that, I think that is just so impressive, and really not something that should be overlooked. I think it's just really something that should be celebrated. And anybody who comes in here, we have so many people who have known the family for years, and I don't think that every restaurant gets to experience that or has that same connection with people. So I think it's really impressive.
Right.
That it's come this far.
And I think that is part of keeping it contained.
Yes.
Being like, okay, we're doing Sorrentinos, we're doing it for 40 years, we're keeping it in Edmonton. 100%. We don't want to get our heads too big and go out to other places. And having privately owned places really keeps the brand and, like you said, the family community.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's awesome. It's really good.
Okay, well, I think that's everything. So yes, no, or veto. I'll swipe right on veto on Buco every single time.
Agreed.
No problem.
I'm biased, but yes, always.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Emily.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.